Mechanical lifts help make care easier on the client and less physically stressful for staff, thereby decreasing injuries that can result from transfers. The Vera lift can be used to transfer clients who require medium levels of care. Refer to the operation manual for client selection criteria. The Vera lift may be used to transfer clients who weigh up to 350 pounds. Clients who have injuries or medical conditions that could be aggravated by the lifting procedure may not be lifted or transferred with the Vera lift. This video should be used along with the Vera lift operation manual and hands-on training led by a manufacturer's representative or by your facility's mechanical lift trainer as part of a mechanical lift education program. The video is divided into different modules. Practice the procedures demonstrated in each module with staff members until you're comfortable and confident with your ability to operate the Vera lift safely before using it to transfer clients. Only staff members who have been trained according to the procedures in this video by a manufacturer's representative or by your facility's mechanical lift trainer may use the Vera lift. The Vera lift is equipped with rear caster brakes. The brakes need to be locked as the client is being lifted and should remain unlocked as the client is being lowered. To lock the brakes, press on the back of the brake tab. To release the brakes, press on the button on top of the brake as shown. The base of the Vera lift should be open to its widest position for all transfers. To adjust the width of the base, stand behind the lift, grasp the soft rubber handle on the shift bar, and move the shift bar as shown. The pendant switch is used to raise and lower the lift. To raise the Vera lift, press on the up arrow. To lower the lift, press on the down arrow. The pendant switch attaches to the lift with a magnetic base. The magnetic base allows you to move the pendant switch to any metal surface on the lift. The pendant switch has a red low battery light and a green battery charge light. The low battery light will shine when the batteries have used about 70% of their charge. Although enough charge will remain to do several more transfers when the low battery light is on, it is important for staff to plug in the power cord and recharge the batteries. The Vera lift has a built-in battery charger, which works when the power cord is plugged into a standard 120-volt AC outlet. When the Vera lift is plugged in, the green battery charge light on the pendant switch will be activated and you will hear a click, which indicates the batteries are being charged. For your protection, the lift will not work while it's charging. Be sure to unplug the power cord from the wall outlet before moving the Vera lift to prevent damage to the lift. Refer to the operator's manual for information on the methods that can be used to charge the batteries. If the pendant switch does not work, the emergency up-down switch located on the back of the lift base can be used to raise and lower the lift. Lift the switch to raise the lift and depress it to lower the lift. This switch should only be used when the pendant switch fails. A red emergency stop switch is located on the inside of the mast. If the pendant switch fails and the lift continues to raise or lower, push down on the emergency stop switch to stop the lift. Before transferring a client, it is important to check the back belt or sling for signs of damage, for loose and missing stitching, and for tears and excessive wear that might cause it to fail. Be sure to inspect the stitching that attaches the loops to the back belt or sling. The Velcro on the safety belt must be checked to make certain it fastens securely. Damaged or overly worn back belts and slings must not be used, as their use can result in injuries to the client or staff. These are examples of the types of damage to look for. It is also important to inspect the lift before transferring a client to make certain no parts are missing or excessively worn and that the lift operates freely. Make sure all nuts and bolts are present, that the lift arm hooks are not worn, that the shift bar opens and closes the base of the lift properly, and that the brakes hold the lift securely. If a problem is noted, the lift should not be used until repairs have been made by qualified maintenance staff. Veralift back belts come in medium and large lengths and in different widths. When transferring a client using a back belt, the back belt should be wide enough to fit from the top of the gluteal fold to 2 to 3 inches below the lower edge of the client's shoulder blades. When using the cross-strap method of transfer, the back belt should be long enough for belt fabric to fit around the client's abdomen with sling fabric touching the client. When the correct size back belt has been determined, the information should be documented in the client's care plan, and the information should be communicated to the nursing staff. When transferring a client using the sitting sling, the sling should be long enough to fit from the client's coccyx to 2 to 3 inches below the level of the shoulder blades. When the correct size sitting sling has been determined, the information should be documented on the client's care plan, and the information should be communicated to the nursing staff. Using a back belt or a sitting sling that is too small or too large may result in injury to the client. It is important for staff to use the correct size back belt or sitting sling when transferring clients. Refer to the back of the Veralift operation manual or contact your distributor for information about sizes and types of back belts and sitting slings that are available. The height of the foot pad on the Veralift without a scale can be raised by positioning the foot pad bracket on the upper mast pegs as shown here. Raising the foot pad will enable short-legged clients to have their feet flat on the foot pad when being transferred. Position the leg supports by lifting the client's legs one at a time and pulling the leg support under each leg, being sure not to twist or fold the leg supports. It is important for staff to attach the back belt and sitting sling loops to the lift arm hooks with the loops on the bottom of the hooks as shown here. The sitting sling leg support loops should be securely attached to the extended bolt on the mast as shown here. If the staff do not connect the loops to the hooks and extended bolt correctly, injuries can result to the client or staff. It is important for staff to double-check the loop attachment to the lift before every transfer. This shows a loop caught on the top edge of the extended bolt rather than attached to the shaft of the bolt. This shows a loop caught on the end of a hook rather than on the bottom of the lift arm hook. Two methods of connecting the back belt to the lift arm hooks can be used for transfers. Refer to the Veralift operation manual or contact your distributor for client selection criteria for each of the methods. The basic standing transfer will be shown in this demonstration. Before transferring the client, check the care plan to find out how many staff members are required, which size back belt, and which method of connecting the back belt to the lift arm hooks is to be used. Inspect the Vera lift and back belt to make sure they are undamaged and in good working order. Explain the procedure to the client and have the client sit on the side of the bed, helping as needed. Place the back belt behind the client with the client's arms on the outside. Fasten the safety belt snugly. Lower the lift arms and open the base of the lift to its widest position. Move the lift in front of the client. Assist the client to hold on to the bottom of the hand grips and have the client place his or her feet flat on the foot pad with knees against the knee pad, helping as needed. It is important that the client's feet are flat on the foot pad. Lock the brakes. Connect the white loop snugly to the lift arm hooks using the same loop on both sides of the back belt. The upper or lower lift arm hooks may be used for short to medium height clients. The upper hooks should be used for tall clients, as this will help the client to stand erect on the Vera lift. Double check the back belt loop connection to the lift. Lift the client to a standing position. Unlock the brakes and back the client away from the bed. Slowly turning the lift, move the client over the wheelchair. Leaving the brakes unlocked, lower the client until his or her buttocks are against the backrest. Unhook the back belt loops from the lift arm hooks. Back the lift away. Unfasten the safety belt and remove the back belt. The standing transfer with crossed straps will be shown in this demonstration. Before transferring the client, check the care plan to find out how many staff members are required, which size back belt, and which method of connecting the back belt to the lift arm hooks is to be used. Inspect the Vera lift and back belt to make sure they are undamaged and in good working order. Explain the procedure to the client. Have the client bend forward, helping as needed. Place the back belt behind the client with his or her arms on the outside. Fasten the safety belt snugly. Lower the lift arms and open the base of the lift to its widest position. Move the Vera lift in front of the client and place his or her feet flat on the foot pad with knees against the knee pad, helping as needed. It is important that the client's feet are flat on the foot pad. Lock the brakes. Cross one back belt white strap through the loop closest to the back belt on the other white strap. Connect the white strap snugly to the lift arm hooks using the same loop on both sides of the back belt as shown here. Remove the colored straps from the pocket and connect the colored straps straight to the lift arm hooks using the same loop on both sides of the back belt. Assist the client to hold on to the hand grips or the colored straps when possible. Snugly fasten the knee strap behind the client's knees. Double-check the back belt loop connection to the lift. Lift the client to a standing position. Unlock the brakes and back the client away from the wheelchair. Slowly turning the lift, move the client to the desired position with his or her legs against the bed. Leaving the brakes unlocked, lower the client. Unhook the back belt loops from the lift arm hooks. Unfasten the knee strap. Back the lift away. Unfasten the safety belt and remove the back belt. Before transferring the client, check the care plan to find out how many staff members are required and which size sitting sling is to be used. Inspect the Vera lift and sitting sling to make sure they are undamaged and in good working order. Explain the procedure to the client. Position the sling behind the client. Tuck the sling under the client's buttocks until the bottom center of the sling is over the client's coccyx. Fasten the safety belt securely. Place the leg supports under the client's legs, making sure not to twist or fold the leg supports. Open the base of the lift, move it into position, and lock the brakes. Connect the back support loops to the lift arm hooks using the same loop on both sides of the sling. Use the lift arm hooks that will position the client in an erect position. Connect the leg loops to the extended bolt on the mast using the same loop on both of the leg supports. Double-check the sitting sling connection to the lift. Lift the client about 2 inches off of the bed and back the lift away. Lower the client to a normal sitting position. Turning the lift slowly, move the client over the wheelchair until the client's buttocks are against the backrest, raising the client if needed so his or her buttocks will be above the level of the wheelchair seat. Do not stand the client. Leaving the brakes unlocked, lower the client. Remove the sling loops from the extended bolt and from the lift arm hooks. Back the lift away. Unfasten the safety belt and remove the sling. In order to promote comfort for clients, to decrease physical stress for staff, And to speed the toileting process for both, it is preferable if clients who prefer to wear pants wear adaptive pants when they are no longer able to do standing transfers. Examples are pants with extended zippers on both side seams and pants with a back flap that extends from side seam to side seam. Refer to adaptive clothing catalogs for ideas. Adjust the client's pants by unzipping the side zippers and rolling the back of the pants toward the client's buttocks, or open the back flap of the pants and adjust undergarments if needed. Place the sling behind the client with the bottom of the sling approximately 1 inch above the top of the pants and undergarments. Fasten the safety belt securely. Position the leg supports under the client's legs as in previous examples. Open the base of the lift to its widest position, move the lift into position, and lock the brakes. Connect the sling as in the previous transfer. Lift the client about 2 inches off of the bed and back the lift away. Lower the client to a normal sitting position. Move the client over the toilet or commode, raising the client if necessary. Adjust the client's clothing if needed, and, leaving the brakes unlocked, lower the client onto the toilet or commode. Lock the brakes and leave the sling attached securely to the lift. Never leave the client unattended during the toileting procedure. After the client has finished, lift him or her approximately 2 inches off of the toilet or commode, helping with pericare as needed. Unlock the brakes and back the lift away. Transfer the client to the desired location. Adjust and refasten the client's clothing. When slings are soiled or contaminated, they should be laundered with mild detergent in cold or warm water only. Do not use bleach, as it can weaken the stitching and fabric. Slings may be tumble-dried in the dryer on the delicate temperature cycle. If your facility's dryer does not have a delicate cycle, slings should be hung to air dry, as heat will damage the padding in the sling. It is important that the nursing and laundry departments are instructed to care for the back belts and sitting slings correctly. A nurse or professional rehabilitation staff member is required to inspect all Vera Lift back belts and sitting slings for signs of damage, for loose and missing stitching, and for tears and excessive wear that might cause them to fail, at least monthly. If a back belt or sitting sling is damaged or overly worn, it must be replaced with an undamaged back belt or sling. A permanent record of each of these inspections and action taken should be kept by the facility. See the monthly Vera Lift back belt and sitting sling inspection checklist at the back of the Vera Lift operation manual, or contact your distributor for a copy. Qualified maintenance staff are required to inspect all van care lifts at least monthly for missing parts and excessive wear that might cause the lift to fail. A permanent record of each of these inspections and repairs made should be kept by the facility. See the monthly Vera Lift inspection checklist at the back of the Vera Lift operation manual, or contact your distributor for a copy. When the Vera Lift is soiled, it may be wiped clean with a damp cloth and mild detergent. The Vera Lift should never be cleaned in a shower, as water can damage the electronics in the base of the lift. Damage caused by failure to follow this cleaning procedure is not covered under the warranty.